Hello and welcome to week 3's article read along. This one is called Day of Disaster. So nearly 2,000 years ago, a volcano destroyed the city of Pompeii. Thousands died. It was the worst disaster of the ancient world. Now imagine you are there. Kind of funny reading that because we are kind of in a certain state of national disaster with the coronavirus, but hey, this article is going to help you think at least it's not a volcano, right? Here's a really cool picture of it. So this is where it happened. In Italy. The Roman Empire. The Roman Empire stretched across parts of Europe, Asia, and Africa. Pompeii is located in a country we now call Italy. Let's take a trip back to ancient Rome. It's going to be a long trip, nearly 2,000 years. Close your eyes and imagine it. There were no computers or cars or electric lights. America wasn't a country yet. Back then, much of Europe and the Middle East, were a part of what is known as the Roman Empire. The capital of the Roman Empire was the city of Rome. It's going to be a fascinating trip, but it will also be frightening. You're about to witness one of the worst disasters in the history of the world. So our vocabulary word here is empire. We're going to go to the next page, figure out what that means. The Roman Empire. Empire, means a large group of countries or regions controlled by one ruler or government. Awesome. A summer day. It's a typical summer day in the beautiful city of Pompeii. The year is 79 AD. The main street is packed with people. Women in robes, men in long shirts called tunics. Children wear leather or sandals that slap against the hot stone streets. You're surprised by how modern this city seems. It has a library, shops, and restaurants. You stop at a market with dozens of foods you can sample. Don't you want to try the roasted mice stuffed with nuts and rose petals? As you exit the market, you look up, and that's when you see it, the massive mountain that stands behind the city. That's Mount Vesuvius. Yet you don't give it much thought, and neither do the people of Pompeii. Why should they? It's just a big mountain, sitting silent and still. Except Mount Vesuvius is not just a mountain. It is a dangerous volcano. The volcano. Sorry. The volcano. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Vesuvius sits atop a crack in the Earth's crust. That's the hard, rocky layer that covers the surface of our planet like the shell of an egg. The crack in the crust allows molten rock called magma to flow up from miles below. So molten, what does that mean? That means melted by heat. Cool. A huge lake of magma boils under Vesuvius. But the people of Pompeii don't know that. How could they? Vesuvius has been dormant or asleep. Dormant is a word that we use when we talk about volcanoes, especially volcanoes that are not active, for 1,500 years. But for months, magma has been rising through the center of the volcano. Pressure is building. A giant eruption is coming. And of course, eruption means the act of erupting, sending out rocks and ash in a sudden explosion. The people of Pompeii should have left for a safer place weeks before, if only they understood. But you do. So what are you doing standing around? Run! A powerful explosion. But actually, it's too late. Boom! A powerful explosion shakes the city. People fall. Horses scream. Thick gray smoke spews from the top of Mount Vesuvius. Except it's not smoke. The intense heat from the eruption has turned millions of tons of solid rock into super hot foam. This foam shoots 12 miles into the sky at rocket speeds. When it hits the freezing air high above Earth, the melted rock turns into tiny pebbles called pumice. The pumice pours down on Pompeii with painful force. It is mixed with hot ash, which makes it difficult to breathe. You grab the hand of a little boy who has lost his family. Together, you run for your lives. Other people decide to stay behind, to guard their homes and their businesses. They think this is a strange storm of ash and rock that will soon end. They are wrong. Before we go on to more terror, let's take a look at this. Beneath the surface. So, why did Mount Vesuvius erupt, and how did it cause so much destruction? So, this is showing all the steps. So, first step, extremely hot melted rock called magma flowed up through a crack in the Earth's crust. Number 2, for months the magma boiled under Vesuvius. This caused the pressure to build. Number 3, Vesuvius finally erupted, sending ash and melted rock called lava 12 miles in the air. Number 4, the ash and tiny pebbles called pumice rained down on Pompeii, burying the city. And number 5, a lava flow rushed down the mountain at up to 180 miles an hour, burning everything in its path. All right. More terror. The sky turns black. As hours pass, the weight of the pumice causes roofs to fall in. People become trapped in their homes. But that's not all. Suddenly, a mixture of ash and melted rock called lava rushes down the mountain. It travels at up to 180 miles per hour. When it hits Pompeii, the people left behind die instantly. In the weeks to follow, people searched Pompeii for survivors. There are none. In fact, the entire city seems to have disappeared. Pompeii is buried under more than 10 feet of rock. A lost world. You survived your day in Pompeii. You are one of the lucky ones who made it out before getting crushed. But before you go home, let's take one more trip to Pompeii today. For nearly 1,700 years, Pompeii was forgotten. It was rediscovered in 1748 and has been studied by scientists ever since. The layers of pumice and ash that fell on Pompeii formed a shell over the city. This shell preserved. And preserved means kept in good condition over a long period of time. So it preserved everything beneath it, almost like the city was frozen in time. Over the centuries, experts have dug up jewels, artwork, and statues. They even found the remains of a basket of eggs and a bowl of chicken soup. As you walk through the ruins of Pompeii today, ruins means the remaining pieces of something that was destroyed. Ruins. You can admire what's left of the houses, shops, and temples. And you can see Mount Vesuvius. It is silent and still, but don't be fooled. Vesuvius has erupted more than 30 times since Pompeii was destroyed. The last time was in 1944. These eruptions were small, but scientists have no doubt the volcano will erupt again with a great force. Would you want to be there to see it? Uncovering the lost city. This drinking cup was found in the ruins of a fancy Pompeii home like the one below. The city's rich lived in large villas decorated with paintings and tiles. Yeah, that's beautiful. Back in time. This is what a Pompeii villa might have looked like in 79 AD. All right. So go ahead and answer the questions on Google Classroom and let me know if you need any help.